but the last quarter-final might just be quick. Well, Randall, to get this sprint victory in this quarter-final bodes quite well for her, I think. It'll be quite interesting to see how she does in the semi-finals. But if she can get into the final, that would be a great achievement, because you have to remember that really freestyle is her forte. But look how powerful she is. The leg drive.
Huge dynamic there, the compression of the skis to get the grip on the...
Poor old Aurore Jean.
Jean just got her, I think she put her pole in between another athlete that brought her down.
Now, this might just be the fastest of the quarterfinals. Celine Brunli certainly with an excellent chance of qualifying. Sweden's Jenny Öberg shows the Swedes have got some depth here. Magdalena Pajala. They would love to do the business on Norwegian snow, but they're up against it. This is Kjeitnes, Kari Vikhagen. Kjeitnes getting a big cheer, and this is why it might be quick. The power of Justina Kowalczyk and Yevgenia Shapovalova, who fell in Lahti in the sprint, so let's hope she has a better day today.
She's a very strong, small, compact athlete.
But all eyes on the woman that wears the yellow bib as the overall FIS.World World Cup leader.
Well, they're off this track, David. It doesn't totally suit Justina's work rate. It does suit her, I think, up the home straight because she's so strong in her upper body, but she doesn't like it when it's going to be so tight. And as we've seen in all the other heats, they're running within a second all the time. Oh.
And Justina said, thank you very much, I'm going to take that track. And, whoever you are, Kjeitnes, you can move out.
I'm having it.
But Kjeitnes was well balanced, actually, and she did pretty well to hold this. But Justina now with her double poly, you see, she wants to get to the front. She wants to be round the back of the church to come down in first place, because when it comes to those tight corners, she wants to be in a position to actually dictate her own pace so that she's there or thereabouts for that final hill climb.
Exactly, and this is what Justina likes, just pure raw hard work, and she basically ran her way to the front there.
So she gets ahead of Shapovalova, and right on the left of your picture, that's Jenny Öberg of Sweden. Two Swedes at the back now, which is disappointing.
It is. They're having to be patient in there so far. They're hoping that their skis will glide and pick up pace on this next downhill descent. Justina brutally pushing on. She's going to double pole over the top of this one, David, as far as she can to try and set the fastest speed down this hill.
And Shapovalova is the only one at the moment who can go with her. I mean, she really has put the power on. Now she gets into this aerodynamic tuck. This is quite inviting down here, Mike. I mean, she's going to swing right-handed, but she's got clear snow, so she can make the moves in her own way, in her own time. She's not being intimidated at the moment.
Well, I think her coach must have said, Justina, this is the way to run it. Get clear space because you do not like the pack situation, and this is fantastic. 43, it is the fastest.
It is, and also she did this at Davos as well, where she got clear on the big climb and then it was downhill, and she had the possibility of being able to actually command the whole race, and she did that through every phase and ended up having that pre-World Championship victory. And round she goes again. You see she's got the lead round the left-hander here. Good appreciation there. They're cheering the Norwegians, but they're also appreciating Justina Kowalczyk. And Kowalczyk now coming down, and you see she's going to get into the climb up back to the church, Mike, in commanding position here, and it'll be interesting to see what sort of time she puts up here. If I was in the first quarter final, I might be beginning to worry a little bit, because look where third and fourth and fifth 4th and 6th are.
Well, that's right, 3:17.2, you're right, which is the fastest, which was the first. Surely this will be faster by at least 5 seconds, 4 seconds maybe.
And they're chasing pretty hard. Yightness there in 3rd place, the 28-year-old from Mulder, and trying to get into this. She was 15th, and that's her best classic sprint of the season, but look at the margin for a sprint. This is amazing. Shapovalova still in 2nd place. Yightness trying to close on her as well as they come up this final lip. It's really tricky, this. You think you're there, but you're not quite, and you come up here and you've still got to work a little bit. 3:15, and Yightness, that would make 3:17.8 for Yightness. And let me do the maths here. 3:17.8. We need to go back to the first quarter-final, Mike. 3:17.8, and Erzberg is 3:17.9. So I make it that Yightness has probably got through. And also, in the first quarter-final, I think Erzberg's made it, but Faller will miss out. That's my unofficial, very quick mathematic assessment. So, impressive from Justina, good from Shapovalova, and just looking down for lucky losers. Erzberg now, if we go back, Yightness has got it.
Well, they're showing a good number of lucky losers.
No, if you go back.
So I beg your pardon.
Go back to the first team.
Erzberg, yep.
Erzberg is 1, and go down to the last one, Yightness.
Impressive, well done, Yightness. She was way detached, and she still had some power, some belief that she could pull back. Justina slowed down here towards the end, but she is somewhat 3 seconds faster than the previous. And there's your confirmation of the lucky losers.
Well, the men now on exactly the same track. Alex Harvey, Canada, but guess who's in the first heat? The man in red, wearing 20. You'll see him in a moment. Johan Eden for Sweden. Tall, you can see good leverage. 20, that's Paul Goldberg. Man who fell in the World Championships in the team sprint and denied Petter Northug his opportunity of running with his mate to get into the final. Wearing 1. Mr. Cool, he's been really personable in the World Championships when he won the 15 and last weekend, and I loved his remark. And then younger brother. Now, I don't think I've seen that happen before. Younger brother and older brother in the same heat or the same quarter-final.
No, we haven't, but this is going to be an amazing heat. Now, is Petter Northug going to double pole this whole track like he did in the qualifying? Is it possible to keep on doing it time after time?
I just love what he said after he won the 15 kilometer. He was being asked about the sprints and Drammen and everything else, and he said no. He said I really, you know, on my race today and everything else, he said, I really don't like these people who wait and then just swoop on you in the last 200 meters. I really don't think this is the way. I think interval racing is the new thing.
Having from his 16 victories, he's only ever well, the World Championships and that one. The only 2 he's won. I loved that. It was so funny.
Yeah, it was really funny, and that's why he makes the headlines. But making the headlines now is young Thomas Northug, who's got the edge here on older brother.
This is a brave strategy, David. Look at this climb to only double pole it. There's super loading of the smaller arm muscles. You can get away with it once, maybe twice, but you're going to super load them for the semi-final and the finals. But we'll have to wait and see if they can do that strategy again and again.
Thomas, who's 22 years of age, and he's no slouch. I mean, he won the Junior World Championships in 2010 in Hinterzarten, and he won there the freestyle sprint final. So, you know, he's got some pedigree in his own right.
And he's getting in the way of his brother at this moment on the descent. This must be up to about, what, 44, 45 kilometers per hour, maybe more.
And Andrew Newell from the United States.
There's the advantage, David, of it. No wax on the base of your ski. The glide is so much faster. They pulled back, what, 50 meters on those who have wax under the skis.
How does Newell do that again?
Oh.
I mean, how many times have we seen him in a position where he could do good things and he's out of it? He will not recover from there. Just have a look. This looks like an unforced error.
His ski, oh no, it was Aidan whose ski pole wiped him out. Totally wiped him out.
And didn't do any favours there to Harvey at the back either, but you can see here it's Peter Northug who's double poling up here, being pursued by Thomas Northug, his younger brother. Oh my goodness gracious, and Johan Eden goes down. Well, I don't think there'll be any lucky losers coming out of this, not because of Thomas and Peter, but because of the gap back to the rest. But it is now, you can see Peter Northug pressing on, Thomas Northug trying to hold second place, 20 coming up there, that's Paul Goldberg for Norway. It's Norway, 1, 2, 3, they're having a look around here. Thomas, and it's going to be Peter Northug and Paul Goldberg, the more experienced two, and young Thomas in third place.
I think that Goldberg showed us that using the major muscle groups, the legs, on that final 100 metres pays off. That's where he took and passed Thomas Northug.
And Thomas plus 2.6. So that basically means 52.3. That might be tricky for him to qualify from there, but an incident-packed quarter-final. Well, have a look at this, Mike.
Oh, that was a nasty fall, and his skis just wiped aside by the ski pole of Aidan, and then later on, of course, Aidan takes himself out.
As you see them coming up the hill, you'll see Paul Goldberg will be on the right of your screen, coming up and surpassing Thomas Northug, just as you said, using that power in his legs to great advantage. Just a quick note, Emil Jonsson, the Sprint World Cup leader, didn't qualify today. 2:48.79 compared to Peter Northug's 2:41.27. But interesting that Andrew Musgrave of Great Britain, 2:48.89, just a tenth behind Emil Jonsson, the Sprint World Cup leader. So not a bad performance by Muzzy. He was only 0.63 away from getting into the top 30.
Oh, it was so tight, so many athletes within 1 second, just outside the qualifying. And Andrew Young, 68th, 9.5 seconds behind.
So on to the second quarter-final, which includes the reigning world champion Nikita Krukov, 17 there. That's Chobotko. And Chobotko, well, as we've said on many occasions, he could deliver all sorts of results. Poltaranin, very, very consistent and in good form. And you have to also rate the fact that Poltaranin is high up in the World Cup points. Higher than this man, Nikita Krukov, who you just saw there, the reigning world champion, and Strandvall of Finland. In fact, Poltaranin, 871 points. He's behind Peter Northug. Now, Ledkov and Colonia are not involved here, so there's a real chance for Poltaranin and Northug to make really good points. The men's competition is wide open.
I had the feeling there that was a false start, but they're not called back, and Krukov just quickly to the front.
Jovian Hediger for Switzerland in that black with silver bits on the suit. And you need to just watch that carefully, because you've got another man in there with similar colours in the light. When they go into the darkness, Chobotko looks as if he's got the same colours, but in fact out front here, this is Krukov.
I'm surprised, David, that he's going for the same strategy as Northug, that's no wax under his skis, because he did have wax under his skis on the qualifying, did Krukov, and he qualified in 4th. And if you're not used to this, and he seemed to be questioning himself, he said, I saw Peter Northug going with only skating skis, and so he must have changed his strategy. The Russians looked at that, and I'm not sure it's the right thing for him to do.
Well, right round the outside, Strandvall